Welcome, everybody, to What's in the Box. It's episode 36. I've got some great games. I've got some great guests today, and we're all going to have fun. I've got 2 returning guests and 1 brand new contestant in the show. We are going to bring in the returning guests first. They are a poetry performer, an all-round good egg. It is Seren Thomason. Hello, Seren. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I see you've gone all lockdown haircut on us.
I have, yes.
I approve. I'm letting mine grow out. I'm refusing to do the whole beard thing because, you know, I want to be employed at some point as well. But yeah,
I've obviously given up on that altogether at this point. Blue hair.
It's great just to start growing the beard, and that would be brilliant. Next up, he actually has a beard. It's the 4th time he's appeared on the show. It is Mark Grimshaw. Hello, Mark.
Hello. I'm disappointed you've not already mentioned my lockdown haircut, to be honest with you.
It hasn't really changed since the last time you were on, which was last week.
A week ago.
Our 3rd guest today, it is Edalia Day. Hello, Edalia. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
What have you been up to? Have you learnt a new skill?
I can juggle with my ears. No,
amazing. Sadly, we won't have time to see that at the end of the show. It's a very tight show, but we believe you, and well done. Edalia is also going to be doing a pay what you want video course if you want to learn how to juggle with your ears. Links in the description below. We are going to start the show now, and we're going to start as we usually start with round 1.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 1 is called What's in the Box. I've got quite a big item today in my relatively big box. I'm going to go around our guests and they're going to tell me what they think is in the box. They'll most likely be wrong, but then they have to debate why their guess was the closest. And the person who correctly debates and convinces me wins 3 full points. We're going to start with Seren. Seren, what do you think is in the box today?
I believe that there is a cassette tape of the debut album from Take That.
Edalia Day, what do you think is in my box today?
Well, just on that note, it's quite tricky because perspective, like, is the box close to you? Is it far away? How big is it? It's quite difficult to tell. So I think that what is in there is that actually perspective is playing a bit of a weird thing with us, and it's a double bass guitar.
Yes, I am, in fact, 80 foot tall. And yes, it is a perspective game. Right, we'll go to Mark now. Mark, what do you think is in the box?
I'm going to go with a statue that you've taken down at some point within the past week.
One of you is incredibly close. So, is it Take That's first single on cassette? Is it a double bass guitar? Or is it a statue that I've taken down at some point this week? The correct answer is, of course, a Homer Simpson alarm clock with one of the arms missing.
Oh,
let's take a closer look at that Homer Simpson in all his glory. You used to press the cake and he'd say up to 4 catchphrases. None of them were ever in the show. It was something like, oh, do I have to get up now? I don't even think it was Dan Castellaneta doing the voice of the alarm clock. But we'll go round the room now. There is always one obvious winner. But if you can convince me otherwise, you get the 3 full points. So, Seren, you thought it was Take That's first single on cassette tape. Pray tell. Why were you the closest?
Well, as we know, Take That were a very inventive and innovative band, and I did say cassette tape. Actually, their first single didn't actually come out on cassette tape. It came out on alarm clock, and as we know, Homer Simpson had many famous catchphrases, like you were saying, such as "do what you like" and "take that and party." So if you played it enough times, you would actually get the full first single out of that machine.
Oh, that's very strong. That's a very strong opener, guys. I'm disappointed that you didn't say "do what you like," which would be the obvious gag. And I probably would have taken off points, to be fair, because it's that obvious. Edalia Day, you thought it was a double bass guitar. Why are you the closest?
actually, I meant the whole realm of musical worlds and knowledge, especially focusing on the double bass. And as you well know, Homer Simpson while also being a comedy character from the Simpsons TV show, is actually one of the most world-class double bass players. Not the character from the TV show, but the famous 90-year-old double bassist whose incredible music and fast bassery is world famous. And so, of course, that's it's exactly close.
Of course. I will also say that Homer is quite a good double bass player in a season 27 episode, I believe, called Covercraft, where him and the other dads of Springfield start a cover band. Apu is the front liner of it, and he sings in a completely different voice. So in the controversy that, Apu Nahasapina Pedalon was being played by a white guy, they then hired a second white guy to also voice him. It was very weird.
I feel like you're actually... doing the explaining for Mark here because of the whole removing statues thing. This is very bad.
Well, that's why I thought it was because it is technically a statue, but Seren's was very, very strong. Mark, please convince me, and don't just say because it's a statue, because I've seen you play this game before. Convince me why this is a statue that I have torn down.
I mean, I don't want to seem overconfident here, but what you are holding in your hands right now, Frizz, is a statue. But I will go into a bit more depth because that statue actually has something in common with Winston Churchill in that it has spent this weekend in a box. And that is how it is similar.
Oh, now then, if I was to present the box like that, then maybe you would have got the points there. But I will say, Seren's argument and explanation was so strong, such a strong opener. It was very difficult to beat that. Seren, you get the full 3 points for that.
I'm not
round.
even going to argue against that. That was very well played. You convinced me.
It's time for round 2, everybody.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 2 is called Sentimental Value. Now, usually I have an audience who put things in a box, so I don't know what the items are. Can't do that. So I've asked my guests today to present their own items in their own boxes. They're going to pull one item out and gift it to another contestant. That contestant will then have to convince me why this object means so much to them, like in their childhood. It means the world to them, and they're going to have to explain why. We're going to start with Edalia for this round, which means your gift will be given by Seren. Seren, what is your gift for Edalia today?
My gift for Edalia is this hammer.
Has that got writing on? What does that say?
I'm not sure. It says Wilco.
Wilco!
Claw hammer. And hickory, genuine hickory.
Genuine hickory wood. Hickory dickory. Right. Edalia, you then have to explain why this Wilco hickory wood hammer means the world to you. Engage us.
Basically, I'm quite shocked you've got it there, Seren, actually, because I thought that was in my house. But it's quite... I've just got sort of chesticups. Basically, as you know, I'm a huge gaming fan. And I have been since I was little, and it started when I was 5, and I got a Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, and I used to play Mario Brothers constantly. And there are the hammer thrower turtle-type creatures in that. They throw the hammers, and I used to love them, and I was so into them. They were just so brilliant, the way they threw the hammers at Mario, and Mario kept dying, and at first I was really frustrated, and I just kept dying again and again and again and again. It really frustrated me, and then after a while I started to enjoy it, and the dying became a sort of a ritual, and I just did it, and people were like, why do you keep dying there? And I was like, because I support the hammer people. And basically, one time I wrote this letter to Miyamoto in Japan about this and my love for them, and I drew little pictures, and I'd actually written a really good fan fiction about them. Later, incidentally, when I came of age, became quite saucy, but enough of that. At the time, I wrote to Miyamoto, and he sent me this hammer and signed it from them, and I was young at the time, and I thought it was actually signed by them. And I slept with that hammer. I played with it. People were like, why don't you get like a cuddly toy or something? They're really worried about my parents, and they called social services at one point. But I just loved it and worshipped it. And now it's rubbed off, the signature, which is such a shame. You can't quite see it so much, but I know it's there, and it means a lot to me.
I was really hoping that you'd explain that Miyamoto's first name is actually Wilco. But no, I enjoyed that a lot.
Hikari Miyamoto.
I've written the phrase "support the hammer people" because it could be the next hashtag that trends. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I very much enjoyed that journey that you took me down there. Next up is Mark, which means Edalia. You're going to reunite Mark with an object from his childhood. What is that item?
A tub of hand sanitizing gel. There you go.
Excellent.
It's got a Union Jack on it. And it's Goldfish brand. Apparently it kills 99.9% of bacteria.
Okay, Mark, are you delighted that you've been reunited? Let us know. Tell us why.
Well, I haven't been reunited because that is not in the room with me right now, and quite frankly, that really pisses me off. Because that is the first ever bottle of hand sanitizer that I bought, which, Frizz, I believe you know this about me. I have OCD, and one of the things that I do is I regularly have to walk around and I regularly sanitize my hands. Even before it was recommended as part of the whole Corona situation, I was constantly washing my hands and sanitizing my hands. And that is the first ever bottle I bought that I kept to kind of commemorate that purchase. There should be a little plaque with it. I don't know if you've got that as well.
Yeah, I've got the plaque.
Have you got the plaque as well?
Very nice. What did the plaque say, Mark?
It said, "The first bottle of hand sanitizer I purchased, 2001.
So you commissioned the plaque yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't buy a ready-made plaque. That's not the kind of circumstances that call for a ready-made plaque, Frizz.
No, that's
That makes so much sense now. I didn't realise what that meant. I was like, this isn't the first one I bought, but because it's yours.
It's because you stole it, yeah.
Right. Next up, Saren Thomason. You're going to be reunited with an item gifted by Mark. Mark, what is that item?
It is a lottery ticket from the 21st of March this year. Frizz, you may be aware of this lottery ticket.
I am.
This was done for a live YouTube stream called Mark Grimshaw Predicts the National Lottery. We predicted 0 numbers correct, but Frizz predicted the number 46.
I did. The way I did it was a musical clip where I rapped, "My name's Frizz Frizzle and I feel alive. The number I choose is 45 plus 1. It's 46. Saren, though, however, Mark's story was a bunch of bullshit because that didn't happen. This lottery ticket is from your childhood. Explain why it means so much.
I remember when the National Lottery first started, and I was a little bit too young to partake. I was just a year too young to be able to legally buy lottery tickets. So, and my birthday is actually the 14th of March. So that one was the first lottery ticket that I ever bought. And I held it and I waited and I listened to Mystic Meg, and she told me that a sad teenager in West Yorkshire would be celebrating tonight, and I was really excited. And I got not one single number, not even 46. And that was the start of a long and sad descent into gambling. But every so often I just go and I pick that ticket up and I think, well, you didn't win that time, but maybe this week. I am now in a terrible amount of debt.
So the numbers must have meant a lot to you. What did the number 46, how was that relevant in your life?
Well, the number 46 was the number of my house that I lived in at the time, and it was not a place that I wanted to live, but when I looked at that number, I thought, that's the number that's going to get you out of this place. That's the number that's going to get you on your way with this lottery ticket. That's the door that you'll be going out of and into your life with that millions and millions of pounds you're about to win, and it sadly never happened.
I like that a lot. I've got points to give out. It's going to be 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. The 3 points go to Edalia because I genuinely believed that there is some corner of the internet that have a Hammer Bros kink and they just want to repetitively die to them. I believe that, but I'm not going to Google it. 2 points. Very sad story, Saren. I enjoyed that. It was very good. The film 46 meant a lot to you, and that was a very good reason, because if you don't like that house number, why not? If it made you rich, maybe you'd like the number again. And Mark, I'm going to give you 1 point, and you'll be glad of it.
Can I make a request, please? Can you
on.
45 for that, so I can have 46, please?
No, very good. Those are the final points there. It's time for round 3.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Now, it was very interesting, Edalia, that you mentioned the Mario Brothers, because they are mentioned in round 3 quite a bit. But how come? Round 3 is always the music round. Well, I found this. It is called The Main Stage, and it is the Ultimate Festival Sampler 1997. And I have not heard of a single one of these bands or songs in my life. And I was alive during 1997. What I've done here is I was reading a lot of these, and I thought a lot of these sound like Mario levels or Mario characters. So I've merged the two with Super Mario Brothers U. So I've got a list of songs, song titles. Some of them, however, are either characters or levels in Super Mario Brothers U, available for the Wii U. And you already told me that you're quite a big fan, so you may have an advantage in this. But we are going to start with Mark. Mark, a number, please, between 1 and 9.
8, please.
Number 8 is Chocolate Superhighway. Now, is that a Mario level from Mario Brothers Wii U, or is it on the 1997 album, The Main Stage, The Ultimate Festival Sampler 1997?
See, I was 1 when that album was released, so that is not a helpful fact. So I'm just gonna go. I don't think that's a Mario level. I don't think that's a Mario level. So I've got to go for the Ultimate Festival Sampler.
You are correct. It is actually a song by the band Spearhead.
That's a Mario level.
So that is 1 point for Mark there. Seren, a number, please, between 1 and 9.
3.
Number 3 is Windsor Park. Now, we know it's a real place as well, but is it also a song featured on the album or a Mario level?
I could see like some Japanese coder thinking Windsor Park sounds like the most British thing you could possibly have, and it being a little nature ramble through. But I'm going to say it's a song.
It is a song. It's by the band Arnold. I'm getting nothing. I'm getting nothing from Arnold here. So that is a point for Seren there. Edalia, a number, please, between 1 and 9.
8.
Number 8. We've had 8. It was Chocolate Superhighway.
Oh.
Is it, however, a Mario Kart level or a song? I'm not going to do that. Mark would absolutely hate me if I gave you a point.
Oh,
So,
I was about to rage.
Easy. Oh, I've got
number between 1 and 9 that isn't 3 or 8.
9.
Number 9. Sorry, the TARDIS just arrived outside, and
Emily. It's not related to a scheme I have for fixing the results of this and finding out by traveling to the future. Don't worry.
excellent. That works for me. But if you've travelled to the past and played Mario or listened to the 1997 album, I've already forgotten the title. It's that forgettable. The Main Stage. Is Big Amp the name of a song from a obscure 1997 band, or is it a level in Mario, or is it a character in Mario? Anything could be correct.
Despite my incredibly youthful looks, I was actually 12 when this album came out. And because I'm a massive music aficionado, I know for a fact that Big Amp was actually on that album.
It's a Mario Kart character, I'm afraid. Yeah. So sorry, no points there. To be fair,
as well, I bought into that.
all of you keep saying about this album that was released. It came free with the Daily Telegraph. This was mailed in by a watcher of What's in the Box who knows about that I use CDs. Like it's a paper cardboard cover. I don't think anyone has ever listened to this compilation CD. Not even me.
I've got loads of those compilation CDs from the Daily Mirror. I'll send you some over.
Please do. I'm running out of things to do for rounds. Next up, Mark, please, a number between 1 and 9.
I'll go with 5, please.
Number 5, Satan. Now, is this a Mario character, or is it the title of a song from the main... Was Satan ever in Super Mario Brothers U for the Wii U? It's a hard one, this one.
Do you know what? Just purely out of hope, I'm going to say, yeah, Mario.
No, it's a song by Orbital, I'm afraid. Orbital, again, being a Mario Kart character. Seren, please, a number between 1 and 9 that isn't 3, 5, 8, or 9.
4, please.
4, Bridge Over Poisoned Water. Now, is this a Mario level or a song from the main stage album that came free with the Daily Telegraph?
I think that's got to be that's got a very Mario feel to it.
It is. The water is the poison purple water, and you have to do some parkour over it. That is absolutely.
I was about to complain about how fucking easy that question was, and then I realised that I deliberately flunked Satan just so I could say, I hope it's a Mario character. I can't really complain.
Edalia, 1, 2, 6, or 7?
2.
Number 2 is Icicle Caverns. Now, is this a band that was on that 1997 album or a Mario level?
I'm imagining if it was a band, they would be a kind of techno-pop duo who played glockenspiel, and it would be phenomenal. But because of that, it probably would be a huge success, and we would all have heard of them. So I think it's probably a Mario Brothers thing.
It is, of course, a Mario Brothers thing. Mark Grimshaw, your last one for the round. Number 1, number 6, or number 7?
7, please.
Number 7 is Big Fuzzy.
Right, we've not had many Mario yet, so I'm just going to say Mario and hope best.
That is Mario. There's a lot of rounds in Super Mario Brothers U, which are just the regular villains, but big. And that's it. And that's what Big Amp and Big Fuzzy are. Seren, your last one. Number 1 or number 6?
Number 1, please.
Number 1 is the Barafundle Bumbler.
Oh, I want that to be a band. Or rather a soloist with a banjo who looks like he might have got lost from somewhere, but then he starts playing and you realise he's the actual act. So,
Okay,
yeah.
So it could be a band or a song title or a Mario character or a Mario level.
I think it's a song. It's a folk song. It's a folk song that everybody joins in on.
You think it's a song title, and it is. It is, Seren. Would you like to know the name of the band that sang the Barafundle Bumbler? It was.
Is it Big Amp?
It's Gorky's Zycotic Mincy.
Monkey.
No, MYNCI.
Welsh.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, Welsh Monkey.
Oh, so you knew that already, or at least the band.
I didn't know the band. I didn't know the song.
Oh wow! Oh wow! I did not know. Anyway, thank you, Gorky, for sending that in. And Edalia, we've got one more for you, and that is number 6, and that is Insect Kin. Is this a Mario character, or is it a song title, or is it a band? What could it be?
I was going to guess a band, but actually I think you've done a Freudian slip there by saying Mario Kart accidentally, so I'm going to guess it's a Mario Kart character.
No, it was just a genuine stammer that I often have, where I just stick the word kart in things.
We have Mario Kart about 6 times during this round.
Yes, sadly, that was a song titled by the band Bush, not Kate Bush. There was a band called Bush, and that was one of their songs that was on that particular album. It is time for round 4.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 4 is called The Show Must Go On. Now, originally, I had this plan for an all poets special, and then one of the poets dropped out this morning, and so Mark is here now. However, the game is not going to change. Edinburgh Fringe is cancelled. All the poetry festivals are cancelled this year, but not on this show. I've invited some of the greatest poets that I know, or have heard of at least, and they are going to create a new poetry performance for us today. And it's based on your suggestions that are in the comments right now. And Mark, you're about to do a poetry prose performance, something artsy, basically. And you are going to do it, and it's going to be an ode to Atlantis.
Sorry, just to check, you're asking the one non-poet to open the poetry round?
Yes.
Oh, what a shame. My text stopped working. Oh no, what are we going to do?
We can still hear you, Mark. And here is Mark with a poetry or an ode to Atlantis. Here we go. Look, okay, Mark, what I'm going to say is...
You get that?
Not at all. You'll have to do it again, and I will repeat this until you say anything. Here with his ode to Atlantis, here is Mark Grimshaw.
Right, I've run out of fake technical issues that I can use to buy time. Do you know what? This is going to be really good when it's edited down to not have me in this round. Because all I'm doing now is struggling to think of words that rhyme with Atlantis.
It doesn't have to rhyme. Poetry and performance never has to rhyme. You can just dramatically describe Atlantis for us.
Atlantis? It's wet.
There we go. Right, so that's the first time I've ever given no points for that round.
Hey, hang on there. I think that was the most impressive form of interactive, non-poetry poetry I've ever seen. I was like, wow. Very nice.
It was an
performance art because I am
immersive experience.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when I said, I'm looking for a third poet to do the third poet special, Mark Grimshaw was like, I can do it, I'm free.
I actually said, I can do a rhyming couplet if you like, and what you just realised is I fucking can't.
Right, next up, in second place at the moment is Edalia, and you are going to do an ode to work boots for your new job. Here is Edalia Day with an ode to work boots for your new job.
Work boots for your new job. Some people, they say to me, Edalia, you are a snob with those shiny boots, walking in like you own the place, saying those boots were made for walking as you threaten to walk over my face. But I say, no, these work boots, I bought them for this job. I am not a snob. I am the boss. And boots, they are a hoot. They give me joy and I annoy.
Excellent work there. That is 10 full points there for Edalia right there.
And as a poet, not to be too critical, but Atlantis is wet rhymes really well with Alanis Morissette. So, just such a missed opportunity.
That's a bonus point there. Finally, Seren, your ode, your performance is going to be for Queen Liliuokalani. Here is Seren's ode to Queen Liliuokalani.
Atlantis is wet, but no place is wetter
Sorry, carry on.
than the throne of Liliuokalani in her dripping sweater. She wore her boots on her first day of work, but Atlantis was wet, and so she shirks. She doesn't like She doesn't like swimming. She doesn't like paddling. She wishes she lived somewhere else, rhyming with paddling. Oh, my girlfriend is Neve Mitchell-Hill. She fucking did that to me.
Oh gosh, but
I broke down words.
because, for example, I was going to call shenanigans when you said that, but the fact is you mentioned work boots, you mentioned Atlantis and Queen Liliuokalani, which I have written on the top phonetically when I saw that in the comments, and I even practiced it a couple times. That's just me being honest there. Seren, I've given you 10 full points for that. That was absolutely brilliant. That is the end of round 4. It's time for round 5.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 5 is the quickfire round. It's called 23 seconds. It's where I get my guests to name as many objects as they can from their specialist subject, but in only 23 seconds. The person who goes first always goes first in this to give the other guests a chance to sort of catch up later and know what score they're aiming for. And the winner at the moment is Seren. So Seren, what is your specialist subject for today?
My specialist subject is fungus and toadstools.
Fungus and toadstools.
Mycologist.
Fungus and toadstools from Seren, starting in 23 seconds, starting now.
Earth star, earth ball, jelly eel. Oh, I've forgotten what I'm doing. Dog's vomit, stink, horn, scarlet, elf, artist conch, babylette, penny bun, chicken of the woods, coral mushroom, lion's mane, oyster mushroom, deadman finger, jack-o'-lantern, snow fungus, buffet fungus, honey fungus, hedgehog fungus, destroying angel. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh no. Well, they died. That's the first time that's ever happened on the show. Rest in peace, Saren. In second place at the moment is Edalia Day themselves. And what is your specialist subject?
My specialist subject is my washing machine.
Okay, here is Edalia Day listing things about her washing machine in 23 seconds, starting now.
With things in my washing machine, I've got wet socks, dry socks, wet pants, dry pants, trousers, skirts, dresses, cardigans, a wet cardigan, a dry cardigan, towels, towels that are kind of slightly dry and slightly wet because it's a tumble dryer as well. I've got gloves and a face mask, 2 face masks.
Very, very good there, Edalia. And gloves was the only one that you didn't have one wet and one dry example of. So that makes you think that you were telling the truth, because otherwise, if I was just making it up, I would have gone gloves, wet and dry ones. But
I've
yes,
gone with wet left glove, dry right glove, dry right glove, wet right glove, left. You know.
well, we'll.
Going forever. Yeah, no, I was honest. I thought we had to be honest. I memorised it before the show.
I liked it, and that's absolutely fine with me. And Mark Grimshaw, you are finishing off at the moment. You need, let's count this up, 34 to win.
Great.
Okay, Mark, what is your specialist subject?
Words that rhyme with Atlantis.
Okay, here we go.
It's going to be films that are distributed by the Walt Disney Company.
Here we go in 23 seconds, naming all the movies distributed by Disney by Mark Grimshaw, starting now.
Cars 2, Cars 3, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Jojo Rabbit, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, I forgot there was a fourth then, Zootopia / Zootropolis, whatever you want to go with, Wall-E, Inside Out, Incredibles 2, Monsters Inc., Monsters Uni, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory.
Right, that is time, I'm afraid. But I will say, Jojo Rabbit was a Disney film.
20th Century Fox at the time they owned it.
Well then, when I saw Jojo Rabbit for the first time, it was the last film I saw in the cinemas before it shut down. And 5 minutes in, there was an elderly man in the row behind me who at one point, when he appeared on the screen, turned to his wife and went, "Hitler?" I don't know if he thought he was seeing Peter Rabbit and was just very confused. But anyway, we've got...
I'm more shocked by Jojo Rabbit than Pulp Fiction, to be honest with you.
The Simpsons parodied Pulp Fiction, so I thought it was a children's show to begin with. We've got our final scores. In third place, it was her first time on the show, and she did very, very well. I enjoyed her poem massively, and learning what was in her washing machine. It's Edalia Day! Excellent. Edalia, whilst you're here, is there anything you'd like to plug or recommend to people during lockdown?
Yeah, I've got 2 shows online, one about video games and Shakespeare called Super Hamlet 64 and one about gender called Too Pretty to Punch. They're available at gumroad.com/Edalia Day.
Links in the description below. And in second place with 32, it is Mark Grimshaw. Very well done.
How did that happen?
Because you basically listed all the movies that were on your shelf in a very, very quick pace. That's how it happened.
That's what I did. I just used sequels.
But have you got anything you'd like to plug or even recommend for people who are trapped in lockdown?
I'll take plug as the option, please. You can follow me on Twitter at MarkGrimshaw16, and I've also got a load of stuff being put on YouTube at the minute. I've got a new series of Quiplash with comedians where I get a team of comedians to play the video game Quiplash. That's a lot of fun, and there's a load of other stuff being put on. I've got a stand-up special coming out soon. It's fine.
Lovely. Well, the link will be in the description below, I guess. And the winner with 39 glorious points. God bless their mushroom abilities. It is Saren Thomason. Very well done. Anything that you would like to plug or recommend during lockdown?
I would like to recommend eating mini rolls during lockdown. That's been getting me through. And I would also like to plug, I am on day 92 of my 100 sonnet odyssey, which is how long we've been doing lockdown, basically.
Oh, no.
Well, it was about a week before we went into lockdown I started doing it. But on Twitter, I am Word Geek Sez, and if you follow the hashtag Sonnets from the Torture Days, you can read lots of depressing sonnets about coronavirus.
Excellent. And that was our winner, Seren Thomason. We also had Edalia Day and we had Mark Grimshaw. Now, can everyone please wave to the camera for 23 seconds as the end credits roll?